We're back at Watkins Glen International. Coverage of the 6 hours at the Glen, 4th round of the 2001 season for the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series.
Drindle is coming out of the car. Law is going in. This is your GT leader. Now, we have seen them kind of slowing a little bit on the track. They are not up to full race speed. They had that vibration on the right side of the car, and then it shifted to the left front. They found it with the sway bar dislocated from the chassis. They thought they fixed it, but it hasn't gone away totally. They said that they're only running as fast as they have to win the race. They have a considerable lead over second place, but right now they've got their hot shoe back in the car. They can run it as fast as they have to. Guy Hobbs down pit lane.
We just brought the number 27 in, Marrow body, put it right on the marks. A lot of dust and dirt and weeds come out of the radiator. In fact, some bodywork was from another car. Changing all 4 tires, fuel going in. As we mentioned, Kevin Durant says I'll have to stop one more time. By my clock, we've got about 50 minutes left. So Didier Taze, who's now strapping in, will be able to go full whack and maybe come and get a splash and finish off this race, depending on the yellow situation. One other thing to note quickly, the temperature has dropped rapidly here, so whether that will help as far as picking up the speed, we'll find out. But Didier Taze pulls out, and he's rejoining the race.
We've been watching the time split here as the timing and scoring monitor cycles through every lap, and the 16 team, unbelievably, David, they're losing ground to Didier Taze in the 27 car. The gap is now 45 seconds.
The gap is 45 seconds. We found out from Guy Hobbs that they're going to have to stop the Didier Taze car, but they think they can get to it in 2 laps at the end of this race. So at about a lap a gallon or thereabouts, they're going to have to put in 2 to 4 gallons. Which is going to be a 6-second pit stop, but of course it's going in and out that takes the time.
And you could tell that time down the backstretch, the 16 car is way down on power. They were very slow down the back straightaway.
So the whole thing may be resolved for Didier Taze anyway, but on the other hand, of course, Kevin Doran, the team leader, is absolutely anguishing as to when to bring Didier in. Obviously, they're looking at the traffic.
As we watch your leader, Didier Taze, back at the helm of the 27 car. Just a handful of laps to go. And one car, the 81, Darren Law's machine, leading in GT. He has spun, gets refired, pointed in the right direction, but that certainly could have been a disastrous moment for that team. They've got a comfortable advantage in GT over the 10 car, one of the BMWs. The Fairbanks machine has taken over second in GT.
And I'm not quite sure that BMW going past that poorly parked. Whoa!
That was the contact right there. The 7, the Genesis Racing machine, Chris Gleason driving that car out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Chris Gleason not doing a very good job. He missed the chicane at this late stage in the race and then failed to look in his mirror and give room to the vastly faster car. So we're going to have to go around again now.
White flag is in the air for Didier Taze in the 27 car. Kevin Doran's team obviously making the right decision, bringing out the Ferrari, parking the Crawford chassis that was all new, allowing further development on that race car. They're hoping to use it later. They've committed to running 3 races with the Ferrari. This one in a couple of days at Lime Rock on Monday, Memorial Day, in the Twin Sprints, and then at Mid-Ohio. And you heard Kevin Doran say a little earlier in the broadcast that they may just run this car the rest of the season, depending on what Max Crawford is able to do in development with that new car.
Of course, developing cars in the wind tunnels is not a cheap date, and it obviously needs some aerodynamic help to make it more competitive. But on the other hand, this Ferrari chassis is getting a bit long in the tooth as well, and I think the Crawford's a very soundly built car.
Oh, trouble for one of the GT machines. We got a glimpse of the 61 car had apparently hit the wall and spun onto the racetrack. The Case-It Racing Porsche GT3 RS.
That is well and truly out.
Brad Demaratus from England, Lynn Wilson and Adam Merzon driving that car as well, and that happened right in front of the leader, Didier Taze.
See, that's the sort of thing, you know, you keep saying the guy's got it won, he's got it won, but you only got to remember Mika Hakkinen 3 weeks ago in Spain, 2/3 of the last lap with a 40-second lead going into the last lap out of the race, and the same thing could have happened to Didier right there.
Just a couple of turns left, though, for the 27 team. Kevin Doran's Lista Ferrari with the Judd power. Taze, Baldy, and Freddie Lionheart about to pick up their first win of the 2001 season, bringing their venerable Ferrari chassis out, heading down toward the final couple of corners here at the Watkins Glen 3.4-mile road course. Taze with clean racetrack in front of him. Just needs to make it around the final corner and head to the checkered flag. The flag is in the air at the Glen, and Didier Tays has won the 6 hours at the Glen for Kevin Doran's team. A big round of applause. Tays very happy, obviously, because even though he led early today, they were not in contention in the middle 4 hours of this race.
No, they slipped back a little bit there, but on the other hand, soon after it started to get, late afternoon, they came back in and they were very strong after John Field was out.
As we watch Darren Law head to the checkered flag in the G&W Motorsports Porsche, the 81 car, they will win the GT category. Rich Grupp will take the Prototype 2 honors in the Mazda Kudzu, the 62 car. GTS will go to Chris Bingham and Ron Johnson in their Celine, the 5 car. There's a happy David Murray in the G&W crew. And American GT honors will go to Doug Goad and Craig Conway in the 09. So it's been a wild afternoon of action, an early evening of action here at Watkins Glen. 4th round of the 2001 Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series season. And a great day of competition. Tons of action, a lot of fun. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. There's your GTS winner. Chris Bingham taking the Celine around the final couple of turns toward the checkered flag here at Watkins Glen. As we take a look at that beautiful piece of machinery with the headlights on now, earning applause from the corner workers and the rest of the competitors here at Watkins Glen as well, as they come home with yet another GTS category win in that new Celine SR7.
It certainly is a swoopy looking car, there's no doubt about it. And they're off to Le Mans again. They'll be with us there in 3 weeks time with 4 of these models there, so look for a good strong performance there. But of course 24 hours, it's a heck of a lot longer than 6.
Well, it's one thing that you would not have thought possible, or at least I wouldn't have, that this car would prove to be so reliable in the early go.
Very reliable and very fast straight out of the box.
Checkered flag waving over Bingham. They are the GTS category winners. So Didier Tays takes the overall win as the Bingham crew waves to their driver. We'll come back and talk to the winners in a moment.
After 6 hours of racing, a great finish for Didier Tays. Here he gets a hug from Rob Dyson. Didier, a little bit of worry about fuel at one point, but you closed up that big gap you had and came and got the fuel, and things worked out nicely.
Well, we know James has to do a splash, and we had to do a splash also. I think, we were a bit faster. I was hoping a more fair race, with the engine of James, but we had to make a gap big enough to make sure we can do a splash and be covered for the rest of the race, and it worked perfect.
Great, congratulations to you, Didier. We'll see you in a week. And of course, a very exciting finish, and we're going to send this back up to the booth.
Great run for that team. Mauro Baldi joining Didier Tays and Freddie Leinhardt for the win. James Weaver and Butch Leitzinger hang on for second spot, a lap down. Rich Grupp and his crew in the Prototype 2s, they win that class and they finish 3rd. Andy Lally and his bunch from Archangel Motorsports come home 4th. Jack Baldwin, George Robinson, Johnny O'Connell grab 5th after just a day full of problems. They lost many laps on pit road with 3 different stops. The GTS win goes to Ron Johnson and Chris Bingham in the 5 car ahead of Larry Schumacher. They finished 7th overall. Darren Law's bunch in the G&W Porsche, they finish 8th overall and they win GT. American GT, the 9th place finisher overall, the 09 of Craig Conway and Doug Goad, and finishing 10th in GT. One of the BMWs, the Fairbanks bunch, finishing in 10th spot. Let's find out more of the stories as the checkered flag has fallen here at Watkins Glen. Downstairs to John Bizignano.
Darren Law.
Yeah, well, I know. Car was great. We were running great. We had a good lead. And a car overshot the chicane. And as I came out, it was just like in the driver's meeting. The guy wasn't paying attention, turned right into me, spun me right off the track. I could have killed him.
Congratulations on a great win.
Thanks.
It was a very tough moment for that team on the last couple of laps when Law spun and hit the wall. Didn't hit it very hard, fortunately, for that team, and they were able to score another GT class victory.
Well, just like the race at Phoenix a couple of 3 weeks ago, we saw a great race all afternoon. James Weaver, John Field, and Didier Tays' car were all right in contention, and as we said at the beginning of the show, these guys raced flat out for the whole time. Very disappointed for both John Field and, of course, James Weaver and Butch Leitzinger, but a terrific run for Kevin Doran's team.
A ton of action here at Watkins Glen in the 6 hours, as we would have expected. Some great battling all day long, some wild action too. Many of the cars having a difficult time, a lot of activity on and off the racetrack, and we're glad to tell you that all the drivers are fine. Now Monday, Memorial Day, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, live coverage of the Grand American Rolex Sports Car Series from Lime Rock Park in Connecticut, the Twin Sprints for the prototypes. For Guy Hobbs and John Bizignano on pit road, my colleague David Hobbs, I'm Rick Benjiman. Check out all the motorsports information you need at speedvision.com. Congratulations to Didier Tays. We'll see you Monday.